Man, seriously, San Francisco is getting so bad that the cops have to deploy these bait cars. Pretty much, cars are just like a signal where if they get broken in, the cops come and pretty much just trying to bait these thieves so they can actually catch them. Because it's getting so bad to the point that at this point, just sell your car. Okay, if you live in the Bay Area, if you live in San Francisco, just sell your car. It's going to get broken in at least a few times. The car rental companies are sick of this. Car rental companies are thinking about just leaving San Francisco because when you have a broken window, your car is pretty much knocked out of operation from 2 to 3 weeks. And not to mention these cars, every single time they get rented out, 10 to 15% of those cars after like a couple weeks come back all smashed up. I mean, this is a car theft paradise. And thieves are just going nuts. I mean, I have videos where people just don't care, like genuinely, like they're not afraid. They just go and look through every single car and just steal every single thing. I mean, this is insane. I mean, you got just people just going through cars, breaking through cars, looking through goodies. And this is happening everywhere. This is like normalized. I mean, look at that guy on that scooter. He's like, yep, just another regular day in San Francisco, nothing to it. So, San Francisco police, they kind of understand what's going on, and they're launching a new series of operations to stop car break-ins. At least if you put like a few of these bait cars and they do catch a few criminals, what they're hoping is it'll probably deter people from breaking into cars ever again. But I highly doubt anything will happen because if a theft happens at a bait car and the person gets arrested they're probably going to be let out within a few hours. And that's what happens, right? I mean, San Francisco has some of the most lax laws on drugs and robberies I've ever seen. Have you ever heard of a place where you could rob $950 and that being a misdemeanor? Slap on the wrist. Only in San Francisco, guys. So you do have some of the hardest hit areas include popular tourist destinations because tourists are going to be the ones who have a lot of goodies and they're going to be having a lot of suitcases and luggage in the back of their vehicles. And they're going to usually park them in parking lots or parking garages. And by the way, parking garages aren't even safe from this situation. So you have like Fisherman's Wharf, you have like the tourist traps. So they'll be putting some bait cars in those areas to prevent further theft, but I highly doubt this is going to slow it because you also have Oakland, right? Oakland is also a humongous area in the Bay Area. They have the most car break-ins in the United States. Repeat after me. The most car break-ins. This place. And it's crazy. There's constant car break-ins. I've seen people. They said that they just fixed their car windshield. It got broken in a week later. And they don't even have anything in it. I mean, you also have a few crazies breaking into cars just for the sake of breaking into a car. Like, there's nothing even in the car. San Francisco is so dystopian, guys. I mean, you could get away with anything in the city. The city's laws are so incredibly lax. And with this video going viral, pretty much you have a thief, breaking into a car in front of the San Francisco police. And this is actually a massive tourist destination. So you do have somebody breaking into a car, pretty mad about the situation. And of course, the cops are just watching this. Nothing's really happening. Yeah, I mean, it really escalated. It's absolutely crazy. Look at the cop. Nothing really happens, doesn't really even follow them. And by the way, that Lexus looked really similar to like this video, by the way, which is kind of interesting. I'm surprised these two videos are actually a little bit related because let's be real, that Lexus looks pretty similar to a Lexus that we just saw in this video. And because of this situation, everyone's like, wow, looks like the cops don't even care. I mean, what's the point of even having the police in San Francisco when nothing ever gets done, right? So this is why they're doing these bait cars. And here's what's going to happen. They're probably going to deploy like a couple of these cars. They're probably going to arrest like one or two people. Maybe they won't even arrest anyone. They probably arrest like two guys and they'd be like, okay, job is done. We're done with the bait car stuff. And then car theft will be on the rise once again. And like I said before, this is not going to deter anyone from breaking into things. I mean, San Francisco, the reason why there's so much theft, so many shoplifting, so much car break-ins is because the laws are so incredibly lax. Try to do this in like Miami, Tampa, people would not get away with this kind of stuff, okay? You don't see mass robberies of like luxury stores in Florida or in Texas. You see them a lot in California, like LA's Nordstrom Gucci store. You also have Burberry store in San Francisco, mass looted. And because of this, people are just leaving. A lot of these stores are closing down. Like I said before, you also have like crazy robo taxis. You also have food delivery robots being broken in. San Francisco at this point just can't catch a break. I mean, look at this. Look at all of these cars having their windows just straight up broken in just so they could get something out of it. At this point, some residents are even putting sticky notes on front of their windows saying they don't have anything in there. There's even people who straight up just roll down their window, open the back of their trunk just to show thieves that there's nothing in their cars. I mean, imagine living in a city where you can't even have a pair of sunglasses in your car just because it might get robbed. And not to mention, you might not even have anything in the car and somebody will probably punch through the window for no reason. This is probably not the place to like have a nice car parked on the side of the road. And like I said before, tourists are going to be the ones that are going to get hit the hardest. So what's going to happen in the future? Well, San Francisco, I highly doubt they're changing anytime soon. I mean, good thing that they're at least trying to do something about the situation, but this isn't really that much, right? What people really want is obviously to clear up the homeless encampments on the street, okay? Stop the open air drug markets, have more law enforcement. That way businesses are willing to move back. And of course, when a lot of people move back, when businesses move back, a city has more money. And like I said before, they're not catching anybody, right? I think the whole bait car situation is just as a reaction because of this viral video of a car break-in and the cops don't care. I mean, here's the thing. I'm pretty sure, the officers, they do care about the city. They want the city to change. But I guarantee you that if they try to do anything, they'll probably get canceled. A lot of people like San Francisco. I like San Francisco, don't get me wrong. It's really not that bad of a city if you've been here before the pandemic because it was so crowded. It was just filled with tourism, filled with tech workers. The working vibe was incredible. It makes you feel like you want to do something in the city. But now, with the loss of 150,000 office workers, the loss with a bunch of these really wealthy individuals and tech employees, guess what's happening? People are leaving the city in droves. People don't really want to live here anymore. It's no longer a pleasant place to live. It's a pretty yucky place to live. And this is happening everywhere in several of America's finest cities. And this absolutely sucks, right? I mean, some of these like buildings, apartments, and neighborhoods are absolutely gorgeous because the city just pretty much doesn't care. It's really deteriorating. It's deteriorating fast in San Francisco. Things are getting worse and worse by the day, and nothing's being improved. But let's see what happens, okay? I really hope San Francisco improves. If they do improve and tech companies come back and workers come back, I will definitely visit the city again. But in the meantime, I'm probably gonna be visiting like Tampa, Orlando, or Miami at this point. San Francisco is definitely no-go. Same thing with LA. I'm done. Unless Cali and the Bay Area really changes, I'll probably stick to Florida.